In the current local government marketplace, there's a definite issue around fraud and the prevention of fraud. Fraud is a massive problem for local governments, purely because it's money that is being used unfairly. And it's also money, it's public money, so local authorities have a requirement to look after public purse. In particular, the two things that we're looking at Capita is single person discount fraud and tenancy verification, both of which are controlled by local governments. In the case of single person discounts, there's a massive amount of fraudulently claimed discounts that local authorities need to get on top of and need to find. In terms of maximising revenue, there's a thing called the New Homes Bonus, which is a government initiative up until 2015 to pay a sizable amount of money to local authorities for bringing empty homes back into occupation and for bringing new homes to the market. In effect, for each property, they will receive a lump sum from DCLG, the Department for Local Government and Communities. What we're doing is trying to help local governments maximise the amount of revenue that they're going to find under the New Homes Bonus by identifying properties that they have listed as empty, but we actually can go and check with credit reference agency data and then do some field verification work to find actually that property may not be empty after all. Now there's two things here. Firstly, they can get their New Homes Bonus from the government, but also there's an opportunity that those properties, the occupiers, may not actually be paying council tax. So for the local authorities, it's worth them having a look at this quite clearly and carefully. Councils do carry out their own reviews into single person discount and tenancy verification, but quite often it's not done in the most sophisticated of way. Very few councils will actually look at merging data with credit reference information, and that's a rich seam of data that can be mined. For example, if I was claiming single person discount and claimed to be living by myself, credit reference information would show if there was anyone cohabiting with me at that particular address. In terms of the single person discount review, Capita matches records from the council against the credit reference data. We assess each property, each claimant, as to the likelihood of them still being single residents. What we will then do is work with the local authority to actually remove those discounts that are fraudulently claimed. In terms of the empty homes review, we follow a very similar process. So we match against credit reference information just to see if there's credit activity at a particular property that the council may think is empty. So if we get evidence that the property isn't empty, what we will do is field verify that by sending Capita employees out to visit that property to ascertain whether that property is indeed occupied or not. But what they will do is they will fill in a spreadsheet for each property and simply look to see whether the windows are open, whether there's music from inside, whether there's children's toys or the gardens are well maintained. We then report back to the local authority with our recommendations towards the number of properties that actually should be now listed as being occupied as opposed to being empty. What the local authority do with that information is that they fill in a form called the CTB1 form in September, at the end of September, to show the number of empty properties that have been brought back into use and the number of new build properties that the council has. For each of those properties, they will receive a percentage of the council tax for 6 years. The key benefits of carrying out single-person discount reviews and empty homes reviews are simply more money back into the council's coffers. Capita operates both services on a risk and reward basis, so we only charge on the success of the reviews. So there's no money to pay up front, and the end invoice will only be a percentage of the amount of revenue that the local authority returns. So firstly, it's a way to make more money for the local authority in these austere times. But secondly, it is public money and the local authority has a responsibility to manage public money. And the more fraud that is out there, the more people that fraudulently claim benefits such as single person discounts, the council has to find that money back. So either services will be cut or council tax will go up, and no one wants either of those things to happen.